Alright, this is going to be an update for my channel. I probably should start taking more detailed videos of things we're doing, because I was asked a question on by another person on YouTube about how I get such great traction with these old tires. And yes, they're cut, and which is one of the things you need. We call it, for tires like these, you need to cut them a specific way. These are cut more towards the side of pull-in tractor tires, of actual professional tires, with these extra cuts in them. But the standard cutting for these particular tires, my buddy's tractor, which I have yet to put back together, I'm working on. Let me see if I can't get a good enough picture. Those tires right there are not cut like mine, but they have the basic cuts which mine do have. Okay, I'm gonna show you if I can get a good picture at them. Let me turn the light here. Okay, these are a little bit heavier than the normal tires. These are off a Ditch Witch. We call these the axle breakers because they're so damn hard, but they're still flat here on this bar. Now, those tires there and my tires over here are cut angled backwards, leaving this edge here down. Okay, right from right here, they're cut from the point down. Okay, I'll go over here and show you. All right, they're cut on that angle so that it acts like a bite, as opposed to this tire, which will bite, but this is all slip area right here. There's no, it's just excess area that you don't need while pulling. That does nothing. It doesn't help you at all. Now mind you, those tires will pull their butt off, but they're harder than rocks, and I have broken transmissions with them. Okay, now another thing to need to know, weight distribution. Okay, underneath my seat sits those weights. That's 75 pounds. I'm 251 pounds. The tractor weighs 1050. Bear with me, I'm trying to clean as I go. Weighs 1050 with me sitting on it. You'll notice this is a belt drive tractor. Some people don't have asked me that if it's a belt drive or a shaft drive. It's a belt drive. You'll notice on this side, if you can see it, there's less weights on this side than on this side. Now, the reason for that is it counters the rotation of the flywheel. I have an M18 Magnum Kohler up front, and it has a 25-pound flywheel on it. And that counters the rotation of the flywheel. Right? It helps me drive in a straight line, even if the front wheels are off the ground. That's another thing. You want the weight, you want it to float down the track. You want the front wheels to float down the track. You don't want, not all the time do you want it to stand on the wheelie bar, but you want them to float, just barely touching, if anything. To answer some of the questions, you also want to run, if you're running a belt drive, you want to run a 5/8 belt. That's just no-brainer. You want the biggest, thickest belt you can get your hands on, and you want that belt as tight as you possibly can get it. Other than that, I'm just gonna walk around. This is the shop. As you can see, it's a work in progress. I'm making my own engine test stand over here. And Fearless, if my wife decides that she doesn't want to pull and I get this other tractor, this guy's going to go in it, and this is going to be the motor I use for building the mud mower with. Now I might end up cutting this stack or taking it off and making another one. I don't know. People have given me so much shit over this stack in pulling, and I might just take this guy right here. These two right here should be exact length apart from one another, and I'll just attach those two on it. And I'm going to take the center two and put it on my buddy's motor here for his tractor. It's a work in progress. I built all of this shop by myself and redid the roof. You can see some of these sections of the old roof, which I didn't do right at the time, but I didn't know then what I know now, and all the new sections going over it. As you can see out here, I'm making it larger. I'm pushing it out. I built a dog pen for my dogs, but on the end of that dog pen on this side are 2 6x6s, and they're in the ground quite a ways. Okay, they have that big band, which I'm using as a base for the next band up for the roof, and these are attached to the shop up here. Yes, they have plenty of screws in them. They ain't going nowhere, and I might just put a couple of points on the outside. I'm going to move my fire pit, of course. That's just a prototype. I'm trying to figure out what I want it to look like. I also want to be able to use it as a metal foundry to melt aluminum, which is only 1,000 degrees, which I can figure. It's a process I'm figuring out. That's my cutting mower, my buddy's motorcycle and shit. My four-wheeler, yes, Fearless. I have a four-wheeler, and see the difference between the four-wheelers that I've seen on your channel. They have crappy tires. I have really good tires that I try and take care of. I don't drive on the road with it at all, if I can help it. But I'm building outward to make a little shelter for everything, and a little workspace if I need to pull the truck into or whatnot. You know how that goes. I've made a portable air conditioning unit, which I've said in some of my old videos, but I've never actually stared at it. Okay, all it is really, let me turn the light here so we can see, because I don't have much of lights in here yet, is just a regular old house fan, right, with a copper coil all the way around it. Now, I skipped every other line, right. I thought it might affect airflow when I made this. Now, mind you, it does work really well. However, I don't have to skip every line. I can, this small of tubing will fit in every line and it not affect airflow. In fact, it'll make it even colder, which is probably what I'm going to do eventually. There's its cooler, and inside the cooler is a little pump, and we put ice packs and water in it. Right now it is primed with water. It does not have any loss of suction or anything. All I gotta do is pump it up. There is a coil inside the cooler to help bring the water temperature coming back into the cooler back down before it gets into the bottom of the cooler. Eventually, that guy right there, this is the last momentum I got from my grandfather. This is his racing engine out of the boat that's over there on the ground, no thanks to an a-hole who ripped the trailer, stole the trailer out from under it and destroyed it. This is a racing engine. Now, it might not look like much on the outside, but it's brand new on the inside, and it's designed to turn 8,000 RPMs all day. It is one of the scariest motors that I've ever, for a 4-cylinder. It makes 120 horsepower, so not a lot of horsepower, but it's designed for RPM racing. Now, the way it is, I can leave it the way it is, hook a transmission up to it, and it not bother it. Right, which is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put a transmission on the end of it. Either end I could do, because I've got a point right there. I could attach one, or I could attach it to the flywheel. It just depends on what transmission I get my hands on at the time. It's a, you know, another, again, process. I'm working on them. I've got my old school trucks out behind the shop. Eventually I'm going to have a spot for it. Eventually, time will tell. But hopefully I can get that done today. I'm going to re-wall this side here, and so to, you know, keep any side rain out. But I figured I'd take this update because, you know, I guess my videos are too short. And I don't really explain much. I eventually want to be able to go up and take my wife up to see her brother in Maine and go riding with Fearless, you know, go out there and just have a blast all day. And I will have a tractor eventually to do that, hopefully, again, you know, just to go have fun. I was debating on bringing the four-wheeler, but everybody that I've seen bringing the four-wheeler, right, well, all the tractor guys have said words for people with four-wheelers. So I figured, you know, I want to build one again like I had, just for fun. And I'm debating on whether or not my buddy Chris wants to go pulling again. And if he doesn't and he just wants something to play with, I could always turn his puller into a mud machine as well, and it'll do just fine. It has a wheel horse transmission in it, and it's a John Deere frame mounted on top of a wheel horse chassis frame. And whoever made it, was weird. Instead of just mounting the body, they mounted a whole frame. But I'll figure that out. But this is my update for now, because I had yet to put one up there. So alrighty, I hope you guys, you know, like, subscribe. I'll try and make more detailed videos every time we do something that's, I think, monumental around here anyways. I hope everybody gets a chance to look at this and tell me what they think. Alrighty, that's it for now. Bye.